Oh boy, Rust Console Edition is finally out. Sweet, let's play. What? It shouldn't surprise you to hear that the boys over at Double Eleven messed up again. If it does surprise you, you probably haven't been playing Rust Console Edition very much. For a long time, Rust CE has been seen as a laughingstock among the Rust community due to its terrible graphics, even more terrible performance, and how, just like its older brother, it still manages to have a rampant cheating problem despite being, console edition, where it's supposed to be really hard to cheat. So obviously, when you announce that you're releasing an optimized version of the game with a new anti-cheat, a bunch of new features, and graphics that can stand up to PCs, people start to feel pretty strongly about it, and they get a little excited for the game's release. New Gen Rust is by all accounts the answer to so many problems that longtime fans have had with Console Edition for 4 years. Most developers would view this as a huge opportunity to have a clean slate and repair damaged relations with their players, and I'm sure Double Eleven did too, so naturally, they screwed up and have failed to deliver on their promises and communicated poorly about the whole thing. It's worth noting that before we continue, I'm sure that they're going to be fixing these issues within the next few days, but to me personally, it's crazy that they had this long to prepare and they still fumbled on the big day. Anyways, here's the problem. The Rust devs have stated that every single player would receive a free upgrade from old gen to new gen, with the edition they bought intact. This means if you bought Deluxe Edition, for example, you own New Gen Deluxe Edition, and so on. Deluxe and Ultimate Edition owners were supposed to be able to have early access to the game starting at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 19th. The day before early access was set to go live, PlayStation players were informed that anybody who was getting the free upgrade, aka basically everybody, weren't actually going to be able to play early access because they weren't going to receive the free upgrade until June 26th because of limitations with the platform. But if you bought the game a second time, you could still play early access. Now, of course, this is a grave injustice, to tell people about this the day before early access comes out. So our boys down at Double Eleven are going to hook up the PlayStation players. You guys are going to be given $5 worth of Rust coins, just enough to buy basically nothing since even the cheapest bundles in the store are still $10. How generous.
Here, darling. Why don't you go get yourself something nice, okay?
Thank you. Is this $7?
I said something nice, not expensive.
As for Xbox players, we were given no such warning and maintained the expectation that we'd be able to play on the 19th regardless of whether we were receiving the free upgrade or buying the game for the first time. As the reviews scroll by, you'll see countless stories of people staying up to or waking up at 5 in the morning to get a head start on wipe day, calling off of work, and all the other typical launch day hype you'd expect to see, only to be greeted with the message I showed you at the start of the video. It seems like Xbox is in the same boat as PlayStation. You want to play early access? Well, you better get ready to drop some money on New Gen Deluxe or Ultimate. However, unlike PlayStation, there's a chance that Xbox players will be able to get in before the 26th. I've also seen claims of people not receiving the Rust coins that are supposed to be part of the Deluxe and Ultimate bundles, but I can't personally verify these claims. I just thought it was worth bringing up. So why does this matter? So what? You can't play the game a few days early. It's still releasing on the 26th. Well, there are two reasons that this matters more than you think it does. Reason number one. The Rust console community already has a pretty negative relationship with Double 11, as I've said earlier. This was their chance to have a second first impression, and they already slipped up. I'm sure the game is great, but you need to mean the things that you say when your PR isn't too awesome. No matter what they do from this point onwards, there's already a stain on the launch of their new game and people feel scammed and deceived. Reason number 2, this is Rust. For those who don't know, Rust has 2 different types of servers, weekly and monthly, with the names representing how often progress wipes on them. If you want to play on a weekly server, you're going to be missing out on an early access wipe to get blueprints to have an advantage for next wipe. Not that bad, but worth mentioning. If you want to play on a monthly server, you're completely out of luck, because by the time this issue is sorted out, you're going to have established groups of diehard fans who bit the bullet and bought the game twice, already on the map. And they're going to be occupying the major monuments and building areas in the game with little to no resistance, since so few people have the game right now. Even if you assume the best case scenario, which is that the servers get fixed right this second as I'm typing this, some players will already have had almost a full real-life day to gather materials on low population servers, giving them a massive leg up and likely giving several teams endgame loot that they'll use to dominate the non-early access users when they start logging onto monthly servers on the 26th. Admittedly, this was going to be a problem either way, but until today, we assumed that it would be severely dampened by a healthy server population, since most players do currently own Deluxe or Ultimate Edition, because you can't play on public test branch servers without an upgraded version of the game. Knowing what we know now, the first monthly wipe of New Gen is going to be absolutely cooked. Tryhard clans and teams full of cheating teenagers who aren't going to wait for the free upgrade and just decided to buy access now will have an entire week to prepare for the first wave of normal people. And you know they're going to be real eager for some PvP. I really feel bad for anybody who's never played Rust before and is going to have their first experience of the game be getting online raided by people with AKs who pummel their wooden 2x2 base with rockets for fun just because they unknowingly built too close to a clan. Anyway, yeah, that's why I'm not in the editing room right now working on a Rust video for my channel. I think it's really sad that Double 11 couldn't even lock in for the release of New Gen, because the game genuinely looks really good and I believe that they worked hard on it. But now they have this stain on the game's launch that will always be there. I also think it's really lame that you can spend money to get in a week ahead of everybody else in the first place, given how competitive of a game Rust is. And on top of that, they still mess it up and can't even give early access to most people who are entitled to it. As of now, D11 hasn't published any statement that I'm aware of, although allegedly they are working on the problem for Xbox users. I thought I'd make a video in the meantime to raise awareness and whatnot. That's about all I got. Sub, I guess. See you around. Bye-bye.